After many months of trial and error, I finally think that I have a way to manage fleeting notes. So fleeting notes for me come in two forms. They're either tasks or ideas, and ideas can turn into tasks. And kind of the biggest insight that I've gained from this is that really ideas or fleeting notes can become any other type of thing. They can become a task, a literature note, or a permanent note, or a project note. Really, they're the most malleable type of note. And you can see that here where just this morning, it's 8:30, I woke up at 4:30 and I did some reading for some research, and I already had all these ideas come up in that short amount of time. So in that short amount of time, I have come across the book again, Think Fast and Slow. I had a little note to kind of basically prove that I can be both focused and present, to Natalie, who's my wife. And then another one came from an email that I read. So at the end of that kind of morning deep work session, I checked my email, and then there was a comment on a YouTube video about how I manage multiple vaults. And I was like, oh, that's actually a great idea to kind of explore for a different video. And so I just took that as a fleeting note here. So it's not waiting for me in my inbox or some other system. Everything's pulled into Obsidian at some point. And so the next one was A Life of Less Convenience, which is an idea that I had for both an essay and as a section for a book that I'm writing. By default, without any kind of processing, in the Smart Notes methodology, it's really easy to think that processing a fleeting note means that it needs to turn into a literature note, or it needs to turn into a permanent note, or some other type of form. It needs to be expanded upon. But in reality, what I'm finding is a lot of these fleeting notes, they actually just need a place to go. They need somewhere to be cataloged where they're relevant and that you'll stumble upon them in the future. That, of course, requires some kind of garbage collection at the end, but this is what I've come up with so far. So I use tags in Obsidian to dynamically build lists of fleeting notes, and I use those collections to put them where they're relevant. So Think Fast and Slow, just using another manuscript that I have building for a different book, I was like, this is great research for this book, and it's relevant when I start to research that book. So I don't want to lose the information. This is a great book. It's come up several times. It's proven to be relevant. It's just not relevant to me to do right now. It would have huge context switching cost if I were to stop my current research and dive into this book. And so I moved it into a collection, a tag called Collection Systems of Productivity, which then if you look up above, I actually have a task, because I've kind of shifted things around in my knowledge base here, to use the tag Project Systems of Productivity. So now I have these, because of that particular note sparked the need to do a task, that moved up to the task. That's another form of fleeting note, but it's all captured inside this one page. Now, the other one is A Life of Less Convenience, that I want to start as an essay, as an idea for an essay. And so I move it into the Knowledge Worker project as an essay. Now, all of these little tags you can find on the right-hand side if you enable the tag pane. And you can kind of scan through them. So if we just looked at the Knowledge Worker one, which is under projects. Did I pass it? Let's see here. Collections, reading list. Probably staring right at it. Oh, here it is. Projects, Knowledge Worker, and essays. I have 2 other essays as ideas. So that's one way you can do it. Now, this is pertaining to a project, so I created a project note, which you can find in a different video, more in depth than that. But what it looks like, if we just open up the Knowledge Worker project note and minimize these panels again, you'll see that I have this query here for newsletter and for, more importantly, or more relevant right now, essay. And so if you look at the preview of that, let's just minimize everything else to distract or reduce some noise. This essay section has this query for essays, but then it also has note links. So these are notes that I'm currently outlining. And so if we hover over them, we can see the permanent notes that are starting to make up the body of this essay. But when these are done and they move into, like I publish them or they're in rough draft and I'm kind of done, they're in the editing phase, I can now pull from my fleeting notes as ideas. And so you can see this again if I look at, I started a new project at work for Golang, and I'm learning that as a language. And so if we look at this particular note, I have the same thing. And what I've started to do is build learning cues for a lot of my topics using fleeting notes. So inevitably, when you start a new course or you're reading a book, there's accolades and recommendations and credits for other work. And you want to capture that. So that way, once you're finished with this particular reading, you can go and find those relevant ones, because when you just read this book, it was amazing. You trust the author or the creator of the video series, and you want to take the recommendations seriously. And so what I've been doing is creating two types of tags depending on the topic note. So this particular, it's Golang as a language. I'm learning Go. And I separate out the tags from a reading list and a watch later, because typically when I go to choose new content, I filter it first by the learning modality. Like, did I just read a huge book on Go? I'm probably not feeling like reading another 500-page book, but I'll watch a video course, and vice versa. If I just watched 48 hours of Go training, I'd prefer to read. And so I use two different collections for that, a reading list of Golang and a watch later. Now you'll notice that there is this like main top level collection of watch later. So that's where all my videos go. And if I were to just go back to the task pane, go back to collections, watch later just has Golang in it right now, but it could have other ones. And if you look at my reading list, I have 22 books in my reading list, which is kind of fun to know. But if you expand that, you would see in here, here's the Golang 3 books that are pulled in this query right here. So we'll minimize that again. And then down below, I have my notes. So I've only got one permanent note right now. It's installing Go. I've not made it very far into learning, but I'm excited about it. And I have a literature note for a video course I'm watching that I'm sure will generate some more permanent notes. And then I also, as you're going through and learning things, you'll find fleeting notes that are links to really, really awesome long-term reference material, especially when you're coding and you have kind of the language spec. And so that's something that if I continue down this path of Go development, I'm going to use over and over. And so I just put it down here as references and link it. So that particular fleeting note started in my ideas yesterday, and I moved it into here. And so my point here is that fleeting notes can be processed in a number of ways. And what matters most is that they're being put to use in the most relevant place and processed that way. It doesn't mean that they have to be turned into some other future body of work, which was the most overwhelming part to me when I started taking smart notes is, okay, should every note turn into a permanent note? And a permanent note takes me 30 minutes to write. So that's not going to scale. But what I found is, yes, to reiterate, you can use fleeting notes in a number of ways. How I do that is they either turn into tasks, they turn into future points of research, they turn into ideas for newsletters, essays, and they turn into learning cues, as you've seen here. So let me know if you have any questions to comment. I'm really happy with the way that I've been able to process fleeting notes and how they kind of spark into other things. And how eventually they'll lead to permanent notes. I'm never at loss of what I should go and do. I actually have the reverse problem. I have too many ideas, and this is helping me put them in the right buckets. So yes, please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and thank you for watching.